All right. Welcome everyone to our beautiful goddess radio show. It's good to be with you all here today, either live or if you listen to the replay. Thank you for coming to support the goddess radio show and this beautiful sisterhood and community here of rising goddesses. That I think are taking the world by storm now. And it is our time. So welcome, goddess. Do you feel like life is a mystery to be solved, that you must stand alone in this life? Listen deeply, beloved soul, and hear my call. I am your waking inner goddess speaking to you. I am here to call you home and activate your deepest prayer inside of you. So, welcome, beautiful goddesses and priestesses and sisters. It's so exciting to be with you here today and to be hosting the radio shows again. So, a little out of practice, maybe. I'm a little nervous here today, but I know we're going to have a great time. It's going to be lots of fun, and I'm super excited to um, bring back a one of the bring back Brenda Lainof. So Brenda's here with me. Welcome, Brenda. And Brenda was on our show last year in the first year that I hosted the show. So I guess we're in show two. So some of you may know Brenda, but for those of you who do not know Brenda, let me just share a little bit about Brenda's background, and we're going to dive right in. So Brenda Lainoff is an intuitive guide. She assists in clearing negative emotions and chronic health conditions, emotional and mental self-sabotage. And once she intuits what is creating the unease in your body, Brenda works energetically with you to dissolve that unease or that disease and low frequency vibration. There are many health issues, whether long term or low level or reoccurring ailments that may have a root cause, and a variety of issues at a physical, a mental, an emotional, a spiritual, a psychological, or even psychic levels of our beingness. So if you've tried everything through the traditional medical channels, working with maybe other healers or alternative health cures, then chances using any of the modalities in combination with light language. So Brenda uses many of her gifts and including her powerful gift of light language, which can help you to clear um, and become pain-free, drug-free healing techniques. So welcome, Brenda, to our show today. It's really great to have you back on our show. You're a powerful healer. I've experienced some of your work myself. I know you gifted to me many times, and you are so generous and so kind. And I just love that about you. And so welcome to our show.
Thank you, Laura. And congratulations that you have your new podcast. This is a new beginning for you, and we are in a new energy. So, congratulations to you for doing this. And I think it's great. It's definitely women are rising, aren't they? Like we're rising, our energy is rising. And so, this is
Yes.
perfect timing for you to relaunch your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenda, for saying that. And I'm getting a lot of chills as you say that because our voices as women are rising. We're beginning to reclaim, our voices, and so that we can really, birth into the new earth, the birth into the new world, right? Those messages and those sacred gifts, those words, those beautiful creations, that we all have as beautiful individuals of the great, all that is, right? So it is our time. And I do feel that we are in powerful times and we are rising and we are reclaiming our voice. We're reclaiming our womb. We're reclaiming our bodies. And we're ready. We're ready to birth this new earth. And boy, I think we're just each moment that goes forward, each day that goes forward, I can feel the flow. I can feel the love. I can feel our light expanding. So good to have you here today. And why don't we go ahead and get started with the program? I know you wanted to start us off with an Octurian, which I love the Octurians, balancing meditation. Is that right?
Yes, it is. And this is wording from Judy Satori, who many people may know of. She's
Hmm.
fabulous. I've been enjoying Judy for many years now. And I thought it'd just be perfect for your show. And just to begin with, and do some clearing. And I'll be downloading some light language as I go through this meditation.
Beautiful.
So
Okay.
if you like, I'll just begin with that.
Please do.
Okay.
Go ahead. Take it away.
So just take a deep breath in, and this is the Arcturian balancing meditation. So we're going to be calling in our Arcturian healing team. Please clear our energy fields of all imbalanced energies, thought forms, and beliefs that are not of God and not of love. Please clear all lower vibrational projected thought forms or sabotaging lower vibrational energies. Please clear all harmful extraterrestrial implants. Now, she lakia papakia da kokoya, shana na 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 ya he, shukoya, lakia, na 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 he pokoya, shiesetai, lakia na na hoya, shipokia ta, yana na 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 hoya, shieta, leki baka, shonana hai, leki bakai. Shonana selekia, shvitataya. Please clear all interfering or sabotaging astral entities or elementals. Please clear cellular memory of all that trauma energy, all of that sadness and fear. Shalakia pakukushasa. Yeah. Shanaya, Lakia Shataya, Lakana, nine. Please heal, repair, and balance our chakras so that they spin in perfect rhythm. Let's focus on chakras 1 to 12 in turn. Lakia Pokokashana Naya Haisakia Pokofia, Yanana Naya Pokokashana. Pokoshiana, Shalakia, Sashatia Kakaya, Shostoya. Please assist to open our hearts into unconditional love and oneness with all that is. And we're asking, please assist us to align with our path of service and with divine will. Shalahia shananai bogogosata yeda kieta baka shosokonaya bikia baka shiokoya lakaya sanana nea bogosheta yana shieta. And while we're in the energy, if you have any personal requests in your mind, you can ask for these requests now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here you can take a sip of water or deep breath.
That was beautiful, Brenda. Thank you. That was really deep. I could feel that very, very deeply, and especially very powerfully in the crown and the heart chakra.
Hmm.
Mm,
Right. I can feel it in my head. I usually got this last maybe 2 years. I've been feeling more and more energy, like in my head region.
hmm
And yeah, so right now, just for me, I'm feeling it in the back, and it really depends for whatever reason that where you feel it in your body. And you definitely
Right.
don't have to feel it for it to be working, but it's just, just the way it is. So,
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was such a powerful gift to start off in that beautiful meditation. So I'd like to take a minute to just maybe if you could give us some highlights on for those who don't know you, a little bit about your background, a little bit about your story, about how you came into being a beautiful energy healer and working with light language and working specifically with different techniques, holistic techniques and light language to do the powerful healing that you do.
well, sometimes you need to get a big nudge from the universe, and that happened to me many times. I was working corporate for over 30 years and had an opportunity with my husband. We worked and lived in a few other countries in the world. And throughout my decades of working, I would have health issues. So then I would be off, be doing, to the fact that I had a particular health issue. So that took me on disability. This happened several times. And not to get into all the stories because that's not where I'm at right now. I feel that I'm tired of that warrior energy. I'm tired of all of the heaviness I feel that a lot of us are going through. It's really weighed me down. And now that I have survived 3 near-death experiences and I have overcome so many challenges, I'm being guided now to this new phase, this new energy. And this feels better for me. This feels good. And Laura, for this new podcast that you're doing, these new interviews, I feel more, to be honest, in alignment because I really want to leave a lot of that warrior energy, whereas out, in Canada where I live, I was out, walking and protesting. And, I felt I needed to do that. I needed to do it for myself. And I felt this commitment for helping mankind. It just wasn't about me. And now I'm ready to let that big chunk of the story go and move more into into what can I do to help bring more lightness and um, just to feel better about where we are on the earth right now and taking it one step at a time, not to get so caught up with all the news and everything that's happening where it can really weigh you down, but just taking one step at a time as much as possible so that I can be of service. And I work in a lighter way, more joyful way. That's my goal.
I love that. I love what you were saying, and I'm so resonating with that where you are and feel such an alignment with that because I've been making that same similar shift myself. I've noticed really since January of this year, but really since the solstice has come in, there's been like a lightness coming in, not just literal light, but feeling lighter in the body, feeling into a deeper flow, into a deeper gentleness that's coming in. And I love what you're saying because I had the same feelings, I'm just ready to release all the past, to release all the pain, to release all the suffering, to release all the struggle, to release the warriors, and the sacred rebels that we were for many incarnations and lifetimes, as we brought light into this earth. And I love what you're saying because what I'm really was getting was, now we're becoming the peaceful warriors. We're
Mhm.
literally, rising up and aligning to the vibration of peace and harmony. And how can we hold that field, which is which is bringing heaven to earth, right? That is our really big picture calling, as I see it for all of us, is star seeds, way showers, healers, whatever our words are, how we view ourselves. And we're now beginning to anchor real peace in the vibration of peace and harmony and love on this planet through our body. Through our body as the sacred vessel, it's becoming fully divine and human, right? In the physical. So I love what you're saying. And I feel like there is a quickening, a quickening to this process that we're going to go through the next 6 months. And my guys were even saying to me this past week, they were saying, yes, just keep lightening up. Light, everything is, lightening up, meaning, walk lightly on the earth now, almost like we're walking or in clouds. We're floating in clouds, or we're like on a magic carpet ride where we're just kind of floating through life. And this is even going beyond the witness observer. I think we're just floating and we're engaging, but we're feeling into life without all that heaviness anymore. And I'm
Right.
loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving what you're saying. And how does that how is it showing up for you in your life?
Well, to be honest, I love what you're saying because that ultimately is where I need to be at. I had to physically remove myself from a situation. And I'm starting to feel where I'm at presently, location wise, a little bit lighter. And I'm feeling lighter, more optimistic about where I envision myself here in the next number of months. So it depends where we are, what we've experienced in the country that we live in, and as to our own personal guidance and what we need to do at a particular time. So, Laura, that is what I feel very much guided to. And so I am still going through some process of leaving some heaviness behind because of my heart is in the people. And I've always, I worry about people. I worry about the children. But I feel like I'm getting stronger and I need to go through certain processes so that I can be there, so that I can, when I witness something that I feel is really uncomfortable, is to be strong. Even I know, and my eyes are wide open. If I'm seeing a situation on the street where I'm going, this doesn't feel right, this is uncomfortable, where I go, Brenda, just stand in your power, and be okay. Be okay with where you're at. I can't save the world, but at that moment when I see something that I know is incorrect, I can do what I can, send my energy just to that situation. So it's more of that I'm looking to be in that space and connecting. I am looking forward to connecting with more and more people like yourself who are in this, bringing in and anchoring for the world, and getting out of that heaviness. So it's a process, but it's something that's part of my journey as well. Because of who I am is I'm, there's all different aspects of a soul. So I'm like the warrior. And if I didn't have that warrior energy in me, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have survived 3 different surgeries that they're going, I don't know what happened, but hey, like I'm here. If I didn't have that in me, I would not be speaking here today. So it's part of who I am. I don't want to deny it, but I'm also tired. I also want to be more in the lightness, more joyfulness. And I'm looking forward to that because it's time for all of us, not just like me, but for all of us. We're witnessing some, I don't need to repeat that. Everybody knows what we're going through. So what can we do to support one another and bring in more lightness into our body? That
Yes.
lightness that we need so we're not feeling the pain. our system is stronger. So that's what I deal with on a daily basis. And knowing that there is the dark, knowing there are entities, not to deny it, they're there, is like being aware of that and maintaining being anchored as strong as possible so that I can work through some of these issues so that I, again, get into that being more of light, not that heaviness, less denseness. So that's my goal with myself, with my clients.
Beautiful. There's such wisdom. There's such goddess wisdom here that you're bringing through, Brenda. I'm loving what you're saying because you're really following your heart to leave Canada and leave all of that environment, right? We have to consider the environment of the energy that we live in. It's like a soup. We know everything is energy is vibration and sound and light. And so I love what you're saying, that you followed your heart, you're on your pathway, which is specific for you. You came to Arizona. I hope you don't mind me sharing that. But it's so interesting you came to Arizona out of all the places because if you look at the word Arizona, what's in that word? Air. And air, the air, the sky, the etheric is lightness, is lightness. I mean, the energy here is there's big open spaciousness skies and you know there's a quality of a lot of air energy, a lot of etheric energy here in Arizona. So I love what you're saying because those elements are who are part of who we are as well. And you followed your heart to say I need to be lifted up into more light. And coming here to Arizona, you're getting a beautiful uplifting, I think, of lightness, of air, of space that you didn't have
Right.
in Canada, right? And so
Well,
go ahead.
sorry, Laura. Yeah, no, I do want to let people know. So, of course, it varies province per province. Where I live, to be honest, in Alberta, for the way that it has been, I'm still a big part of it, is very much in alignment with Arizona. So I'm talking in different levels, like
Mhm.
even politically, but the openness, the prairies, yeah, the skies, and we've just had, but politically, there's some similarities, and then, we've had more um, restrictions than I think many have experienced in the United States. So it does feel freer and brighter. I love Arizona. I love the big skies, even though we're in severe heat warning right now.
Yeah.
Although I'm doing my best. And I was like the opposite in Canada. I still keep everything on Celsius. I'm going, okay, Brenda, you survived 35 below Celsius in Alberta. We can do, I can do 45, 48 Celsius or for heat in Arizona. So it will all pass. But
Yeah.
it was a wonderful transition. Yeah, very comfortable here. It feels right and energetic. This has been a good step.
Beautiful. Well, welcome to Arizona. Of course, I'm a little further north up here in Sedona, but welcome. And so let's get into maybe talking a little bit about dissolving energetic pathogenic frequencies, which is your work, and using pathogenic light language as one of your primary tools, and explaining to everyone and sharing with us how there's a relationship between all the pathogens, our emotions, and also entities. I think this is very fascinating. It's all related, and that healing one aspect of oneself will affect the others. And I love this topic because, from what my guides have shared with me, the emotional body, right, which is the element of water, in which our bodies are mostly made of water, right? 70 or plus percent. And water is also the element of the feminine. And as I understand it from my guides, the most abused element is the element of water more than any other element. And think about how that's impacting our bodies, in all of life, because most of us are walking around with, you know, water. it being the primary element within us. So can you speak to that, share with us your wisdom about how you've been working with some of your clients on this topic?
I was guided to, and this is really due to COVID times, to be honest. During COVID, where we had to basically stay inside to be safe. So it really stretches you. Like it really, you're pushing through some issues and boundaries that needed to go through. And so I had already been guided to the med bed light language. I went down that road for a while, and I still love working with the med bed. Obviously, remote, distant, bringing in the energy into the med bed for what needs to be held. But I thought, Brenda, you've been guided. You've been working with pathogens for years now, and did some training on pathogenics. So I thought, well, okay, let's just really concentrate on that. And then through my work, I'm going, well, there's things that can be attached and related to the pathogens. It's just not, okay, I'm detecting a Coxsackie, virus or bacteria or whatever. There can be past lifetimes related. There can be entities related. And because I do work with past lifetimes, and I do work with entities, I'm finding this is all interrelated. One is not separated from the other. And sometimes I'm finding that when I get to a certain pathogen, if I'm being guided, then I'll go, well, there's something here. Like if there's something I need to, go down that rabbit hole. And it could be there's a past life related to it. So what's going on in the past life that's connected and related to this particular pathogen? So there's all these different layers. And I do have to tell you again, as to the entities, and it's a subject a lot of people don't want to look at, but the dark and the light, we both know they exist. And I can tell you what's happened to me when was it 3 weeks ago in Arizona, I actually was bitten by this little ant. And it created like just by the pool, getting the sun, and this little tiny ant bites me. So I'm going, this is not making any sense. The way I'm reacting, the different rashes I'm getting was coming up. So I'm thinking there's more to it than just this little bite. And I feel, and I had, I connect with a lot of really fabulous practitioners. In fact, there's a few on this call today, friends, practitioners. And so I'm going, hey, can you check with me on this? I don't know if I'm going crazy, but is there, like, I'm testing there's an entity related to this. So sometimes what can happen is that they really, here I am, nice and relaxed, right? I'm away from a lot of stress and I'm relaxed, and sometimes things can happen like that. So yes, there was actually. So it was a matter of clearing that particular entity, and then that started the process of clearing the pathogen. So you don't know. It's just like it's being open to all possibilities, because when we do that, when we know, yes, energy is infinite, then we're not sort of stuck. Well, it can't be. It has to be this way, or you have to do it that way. We're just simply just open to all possibilities. Something that you'd probably hear in Access, consciousness, but it's true. We're just open to all possibilities. And then we don't get so stuck in the way of what we have to do and how we clear things. So when I work on a pathogenic level, is that I intuit the pathogen and the strength, and then I work to dissolve and clear its frequency. And so it could be a particular bacteria, virus. I consider part of pathogenics heavy metals. It could be a bacteria that's affected the upper tooth, number 12 or whatever it is. But it could be that. It could be most likely, there are emotions related to it. So there's all sorts of levels, emotional, psychological, psychic, spiritual, mental, all these levels that can be related to a pathogen as well. It's all really interrelated.
So, do you use muscle testing, kinesiology through the
Yes,
process?
I do. I do.
Okay.
And you know what I really enjoy is getting, working with a person and getting them to work with me. And I'm all about empowerment. That's that, warrior in me, I guess, as well. It's just like, I don't want to be just clear, clear, clear. If the person is interested, I think it's really empowering is that you feel what that yes is, you feel what that no is. And if I feel like you're blocked, I'll clear what's blocking you from believing that you can do this, and we can work together or not. But yes, it's a combination of muscle testing, yes, no. It's a combination of working with my pendulum, which I purchased, I have to say, Laura, in
Uh-huh.
Sedona about 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there was in Sedona, there was a Buddhist center.
Ah.
And they
Mm-hmm.
moved, yeah, and then they moved to Mount Shasta. So
Oh, okay.
they had these wonderful pendulums in there.
I I
So
love that.
anyways, I know, and I'm losing my chain. I got to get someone to put a little new chain on it. But I've had
So
this for about 14 years.
beautiful. So, can you speak a little bit to your definition of entities and what you consider an entity, energy, so that people can understand, for those who may not be familiar, how the interrelationship, or talk a little bit to the interrelationship you're finding between an entity, a past life maybe, and maybe the emotional body, and or a virus, as you said, or a bacteria. Can you help us understand how that kind of all comes together?
Well, there are many, many types of offensive energies. And so we can have perhaps there's an offensive energy. I'm just giving you an example of where there was a spell put upon you. And when we are in a lower state of vibration, and if that spell was put upon you, if you're not, that can be attached to a particular pathogen. So we may not realize it, but a number of pathogens that we are holding in our body, again, they could be related to a past life. Maybe we had a spell put upon us. So again, there's many, many different types of offensive energies that we can pick up. And they're like parasitic cords. So it's like a parasite. When I check on a person and I'm going, okay, this is something that I'm intuiting, this parasitic energy, but it could be this parasitic energy. It maybe that's something that, you came into this life with. Maybe it was your mother's parasitic energy. I'm just throwing out an example. Maybe it was really her parasitic energy, but you absorbed it. So maybe the label that's been given of some type of a parasite is actually something that came in from a past lifetime that wasn't yours, it was actually your mother's. So there's all these different layers. I
So,
think people are aware of what pairs of offensive energies are, entities,
mhm.
they're of the dark force. And they can be around us, and unknowingly we can be absorbing them. Perhaps we can be sharing an offensive energy with somebody else we had no idea, or we
so
can have them sent to us as well. Sorry.
no, it's okay. Sorry. I was just trying to think of like a concrete example, and something was coming to mind that, for example, let's say in a past life, let's say that you were an alcoholic and you were addicted to alcohol in that particular past life. I'm just making this as an example.
Sure,
Then in
sure.
that particular past life, if you were addicted to alcohol, you probably more than likely were not very grounded in your body, and you were open to entities of this type of nature to come in, for example. And maybe also you were exposed to arsenic. Let's say arsenic was, as I understand it, was really prevalent in like even the, 1800s or whatever.
Mm.
So, um, and so in that past life, if you didn't resolve that maybe addiction to alcohol, and maybe it's showing up in this current life as an addiction to sugar, not alcohol, or it's still an unresolved where you haven't, integrated that shadow into, into light. You haven't done the alchemical process. And so you may now have re-attracting a parasite, or maybe re-attracting a sensitivity to arsenic or something like that. Is that making sense, or is this sort of what you see?
Yeah,
Or
yes, definitely. So, and testing, could it be that person has an addictive miasm?
okay.
So when you're testing, oh, is there an addictive miasm? And so, maybe we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Maybe you're going, okay, we're just asking God and clearing out that addictive miasm. So it could be something simple like that, or not simple, but it could be that. And then usually what I do is download my light language just to really give it a boost. And with the pathogens also, it's downloading light language. Just I'm not thinking about it, is whatever comes out. And I really had to let go in 2019. I will say very quickly, because I thought, what is going on here? Where are these sounds coming? And it was from being down in Arizona so many years ago. And I had an activation because I came back to Canada and I started talking to my dog in her later years. These sounds are coming out. And I thought, okay, I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm being activated. I've been doing this energy work for so many years, but it was just something that naturally occurs.
So I want to go back a little bit to something you said I think was really important, that I want to dive into a little bit here about it. It feels like your work has shifted in the past few years in a sense of, with the light language, because I work with that as well. And really, we know that light language is all, through intention. We can set an intention to bring through, the light language. We can bring it through for healing of a specific, condition if we know, or sometimes we don't know. And we just bring the light language through the higher self, through the heart. So it feels like, and you tell me or share with us, that your work is become more fluid and even lighter, in the sense that it felt like that even though you're still using the kinesiology, or you're using your pendant there, um, to just validate this is the correct information, this is the correct frequency, this is the correct, we're in the right to get the root cause. But it feels like you don't have to go into so much into the analysis of the details of understanding what the circumstances were, or what the story was in the
Right.
past, and all those sort of more
Yeah.
mental things. Is that true? Or tell me more about that. Is that
No, I think you're right on, Laura. And who really, sometimes you need to get into the story. Sometimes the subconscious says, no, we need to get into the story. Sometimes the pathogen who has an energy and a frequency of its own, we need to get into pathogen's story. What does the pathogen need? What does the entity need? And when you just like let go, let God, what is it that it needs? Because it's there for a reason. When you intuit and
I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Can you check your mic there real quick? I don't know if it's on your end or my end.
so can you hear me now?
It's a little blurry. Let me see. Hopefully it's not me. Go ahead. We'll try again.
So sometimes we need to talk to an entity, talk to a pathogen, and give it a voice. And this is what I found is like it's not ready to leave yet. It's maybe digging its heels in because it needs to be heard. So what does this entity, or what does it need? What does this parasite need? And then it's ready to move on. So that's like, okay, what do you need? What can we give you that you're ready to release and clear?
Hmm.
Everyone needs to be heard. Everyone needs to be heard. Everyone needs to be validated. We all need to be validated. We're human beings. So I do sense and feel that we don't always need to get into the story and go down the depths, but depending who you're working with. But I do sense that we can clear out the density more and more and more, allowing the light to come in. And by working through the generations of density for whatever that is, it's and things do come clear and easier. So I do feel, yes, we can definitely, it can be more simple and not having to go down the rabbit hole, most likely in most cases with people.
Beautiful. And I love what you're saying. And yeah, because it all is coming transparent now. Everything is becoming transparent in these, whether you call them entities or parasite, it's just a form of energy that wants to be transformed. It wants to come into the light, right? It's our light that we either repressed or denied or we pushed away
Mm,
or was taken away or went out of the body, right? But it's coming to us for a reason. It's not
right.
random. This is not random. This is synchronicities at work to help us to recognize that something we pushed away, we denied, we repressed, or we suppressed is now time to claim it back, which is claiming our light, claiming our power, claiming our love. And that I think we can bring this higher lens of looking through these situations with love, with self love, and with self compassion. And we can bring ourselves into that place or even neutrality that we can open the doors for these pieces of our shadow to show up and say, oh, she's welcoming me back. I can show up now and she'll take me in without judgment.
Mm,
And she'll and I'm it's like the Bible, the prodigal son returns home, and the father, what's he do? He crowned his son. He gave him jewels. He gave him food. He gave him shelter. He welcomed him without judgment. He welcomed him with compassion and love. And I feel that the symbology of that story, as much of our own story, is we make our way home because we've all had layers of lifetimes where we've been conscious and unconscious. And in those moments we were unconscious, not aware of our choices and actions that may have resulted in harm, may have resulted in harming ourselves or others, even though we don't like to look at that, and it's not easy and it takes a lot of courage, but it is the journey. It is what we're called to do to come into more and more light, is it not? So, I really love the way you're presenting all of this, Brenda, because, to me, it's so practical what you do, but so powerful because the spiritual, the spiritual and divinity is in everything. All that is everywhere, you know, and how beautiful is that, right? That you're helping so many people to be able to, uh, in your presence, in your powerful presence of softness without judgment. That's very powerful that people can come and work with you and trust your energy field, right? And trust you to open up and surrender to allow this process to happen, right? To allow the transformation to happen. And I think you do such a beautiful job at that. So we do have some questions coming in from our beautiful audience here. Are you able to take some questions?
I am, and I do want to mention that we're working with a lot of belief systems. So we've inherited belief systems. We're attached to our ancestors' belief systems and who they're attached to. So if there have been belief systems, and I truly believe there's thousands of belief systems, or who knows the level that we said that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. What I've been told is the truth. And then it goes against our soul. It's like, I feel like an assault on a soul level. When we know something's not right, we can feel it in our heart, we feel it in the soul. But if we've been told by all these systems that are out there, and I'm just going to mention, maybe it's an educational system or, government system, like there's all these systems. We were told that's the way, that's the truth. And it feels like an assault on our soul. And the more that we can clear away this denseness as to all these systems, the more we're open to receiving the light, that we can see the truth, we can see our way. And that's what I'm personally working on, is that I ask, like, I want to clear away this denseness. I want to see what's going on. I want to hear more what's going on so that I'm stronger and I'm there to more anchor in and out the way that I'm supposed to, I believe, from my time here on earth. But yes, back to your question, I am open for anybody that wants to ask anything.
Okay, beautiful. And before we go to the questions, and for our live audience here today, welcome and thank you for joining us. And if you want to just type your question into the chat box for Brenda, we'll take those questions first. And while I'm giving everyone a minute to do that, I just wanted to share a testimonial here about Brenda's beautiful work. And this is from Vanessa in Australia. And she says, Brenda kindly worked on my energy with pathogenics and found a pathogen that wasn't even related to my energy. I found that to be so fascinating. It actually was something from my partner that I was carrying to do with urinary area, and he had mentioned some issues there. Thank you so much, Brenda, for clearing that for me and my partner's blessings and love. And here's another one from Shulamit. I hope I'm saying that right. She's in Canada. I had a pathogen clearing with Brenda today. It was very powerful. I felt nausea when she found that pathogen was affecting me on a psychological level, creating blood and agoraphobia. When she was clearing it, I felt it drain via my legs and nausea disappeared. Thank you so much, Brenda, for your wonderful work. So I just wanted to share with everyone a few examples here of Brenda in the wonderful work that she's doing. And let me go into the chat here and let's see. I know we had a couple of questions coming in. Okay, hi Destiny. Destiny said this was after I think the meditation you did, the Octarian meditation, Brenda. After Brenda's clearing, I felt a trickle in throat and coughed so hard I could hardly breathe. Can she see what that was? Lots of mucus still. This energy came in the throat and was at the heart, like traveling down. So can you tune in for that for Destiny, please?
So let's just check here and just giving you that guidance here for Destiny. I'm just raising a frequency and vibration for everyone. Just do that now. Because I feel more like on a spiritual level, Destiny, that there's something that I can feel, that there's something happening here more on a spiritual level. And when I check in, let me just add something here. I'm not getting that the mucus is related to something on a physical level. I'm going to tell you that now, but more, like I said, on a spiritual level. And I feel like what's coming up for me, for you, is that there's been a lot of blockages. And this is what I'm getting that's directly related to this mucus that you're going through. And getting a lot of energy in my head as I say that. So let's just see what's coming up here. So if it's a particular pathogen, I'm not getting a pathogen right away, but I'm told that on a psychic level, there's something that we need to look at. And I'm also getting that your brain is not 100% in balance. So when I check, well, what is Destiny's brain 100 out of 100%? I'm getting about 48% in balance. So the left, right, right, left, front, back, front, in between. So what we're going to do, and so I'm going to do brain balance. So if everybody here, maybe you muscle test, chest, what percentage is your brain in balance? Now, is that related to the mucus? I feel that it could be. It could be an element of that. So what we're going to do is just do a little brain balance right now. And we're asking God, we're commanding a brain balance. So for everybody here and on the replay, Shalakia Bokokoshanana, Yeshiaka, Bokokosha Lakia Bokanana, Shikakai, Soshata, Shosakia, Lapokana, Bashia Kaka, Shikakia Lapokanania, Bakanyana Nana, Bokokieta Kokoya, Shiakiata. Balancing the brain. Okay. This is actually a very good thing to do, for everyone, including myself, every day, because we can get out of whack. So I'm getting now that your brain is in balance. So let's go back to the mucus and see, okay, where do we go next? What are we getting guided to for destiny as to this mucus? So let me just check in. Yeah, so I'm getting guided more on an emotional level right now for you, Destiny. And when I'm just going to be checking, what are you holding on to that could be related to this mucus? And I'm just asking, I'm muscle testing. Hey, hey, okay. What's coming up for me is some jealousy energy. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I'm not getting that it's your jealousy, but people feeling jealous of you. Does that make any sense to you? There's just some jealousy energy that you're absorbing, and it's not yours, but it's almost like or sorry, it's not that you're feeling jealous, but you absorbing that negative jealousy energy from others. And it's like that energy sort of sitting all in that nasal area. So what we want to do is clear out any of that jealousy energy that you can be absorbing, sharing, or sent to you. This is clearing that out now, all that jealousy energy that's sitting within that nasal energy or nasal area. We're able to breathe in. And what we need to do, Destiny, we want to strengthen you to being strong, to setting boundaries. We don't, what I'm saying is that so many of us don't have the strongest boundaries, including myself all the time, I guess. But we want to be as strong as possible as to our boundaries so that we can not accept, what's being sent our ways. We can feel it. You just know it because you're very intuitive. So you
I've been
feel
at
it,
my sister's. I've been
oh,
staying at my sister's, and I noticed,
okay.
because when I leave here, I'm like, dang, I just gotta go to the beach and rinse off or
Mm,
something.
yeah. No,
So yeah, I
yeah.
knew that there was
Yeah.
something going, some kind of dynamic, but I didn't understand it.
Hmm. So I guess the mucus is like, okay, great. So we know that that could be part of what's related to the whole just being stuffed up, that congestion.
Can
So
we,
just
is there any way that I can work with so I don't feel that or I don't have her doing?
well, I best that we can do is just sever any courting that you may have with her, just the negative courting. We want to keep the love, between you and your sister, of course. So just envision a biblical cord. So let's just envision a biblical cord now to your sister, and where all those toxic thoughts could be, and then maybe she's absorbing them. It may not be something purposeful, maybe she's absorbing them, but but it's still there. You can, like in a biblical cord. So what we want to do is asking God to clear out anywhere these negative toxic thoughts are being sent, and all that cording. So we were asking God to please dissolve that negative. We want to keep the love and biblical going, that, she's your sister, but all the negative. And I would say throughout the day, just go, gee, I wonder if I'm picking up on my sister's, I don't know, I just don't feel right, or it could be anyone's. And then just asking God to go through and just sever all that negative cording. Just like, cutting, severing, however you want to say it. We're just doing that now. Shakara kia kokshana ne kokshara kia ba ya kokuyata. Ya ta kia ta kia ta kokushata. Ya ta kokuya. Shatoya sanana na ya kokuya. And as we do that, it's really nice because we want also to help your sister, so we're asking God just to send in love, and that only love frequency and vibration of lightness to your sister, lightness to Desiree, or Destiny, sorry. Yeah, I'm starting to just sending love and light is anytime you're feeling that pulling, that cording that's pulling you down. Because you can muscle test, you go, I'm not feeling quite right. Am I attached to someone else that's pulling on my energy, or I'm absorbing their energy? Just asking God to go through, and maybe Archangel Michael, go through, please, and cut all those negative cording. Make it simple. Why not? We don't have to have this complex. Just go ahead and just asking God to clear it. Or you're calling your angels who you resonate with. Okay, so go back to your the nucleus and just see if things have changed or not. Able to breathe. Yeah, it has.
I actually
Awesome.
felt when you said that, I felt it in my gut too. So that's what was happening, because that's exactly what I felt it when you said that.
Good.
Thank you.
Then now you can go and teach your sister if she's open, and then she can teach other people. And then let's keep the momentum going, because this is how we're going to win, is that we're going to be sharing, and then they're going to be sharing. And so we just have to keep the momentum going and making it simple. Like Laura was saying, like, let's just, keeping it more simple. We don't need to go through this whole rabbit hole. Sometimes I feel I need to, but for the most part, calling in assistance from the light and only of the light.
Thank you, Brenda. You've helped me many times. You are a lifesaver. It's a blessing and a gift to be here today. And thank you, Laura. You've helped me too. I love you, Laura.
Love you too,
Love you,
Destiny.
Brenda.
Thank you, Destiny,
Thank
for
you.
your question, and for you always have really great questions, healing questions that help us all. So thank you, Destiny.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome, dear. So if anyone else has a question for Brenda, or would like to do some healing work with Brenda here, either type in the chat box, or you can raise your hand, and then I'll unmute you. If anyone would like to ask a question for Brenda. Destiny asked a question, will there be a replay? Yes, there will be a replay. And for those who are in my Get Your Goddess Groove On community, which is my online community, the replay will be posted there. The replay will also be sent out to my email community, and then eventually it will go out on to the Spreaker and all the channels and things, the audio version. But if you like the video version, and it will be uploaded to my Vimeo as well, into community. You can also go to my Vimeo and you can join the Get Your Goddess Groove On community. And when I do free events, the videos will show up there. If that's something that you want to do, you can do that. So there's several different ways. I'm sharing the information here. And the last way is on my new Unite channel that I just started. And I also will be uploading all the shows on the Unite channel as well. So Unite is a newer social media platform, just getting started. And I really like it. Okay. So
Hmm.
let's see. Yeah, and I'm glad to share that if you'd like to know about it, Brenda. Um, I think it's a great place for healers. Um, Thank you, Destiny. I appreciate that. So, do we have any other questions? So I don't think we have any questions right now, Brenda. So, what else would you like to share in kind of bringing our show to a close today? Is there anything in particular that you would like to bring in some words of wisdom or anything that you're recommending? And also tell our listeners where they can find more about you and how to get in touch with you, how to sign up for your email and your healing.
Hey, well, at the end of the day or throughout the day, it's always like, give it to God, give it to God. And I know in my last operation, 2019, I didn't know if I was going to make it. The team didn't know if I was going to make it, even though they put a good face on. It was like, let go, let God, let go, let God. Because I didn't know if I was going to wake up. And what pops up from you right now is give it to God. So at the end of the day or throughout the day, give it to God. And I know for myself, it's a challenge, but it's like trying to be more in the present, not worrying about, oh my gosh, now what's going to happen? And now what are all those stories is, I'm thinking it would be good just to say, you know what, I'm tired. I just want to give it to God. So that really is my big message. Keep it simple, give it to Him. We're here. There's a reason why we're here. For all of us. So what I would mention to Laura, I have 3 audios. It's in a drop link box, and it just gives you a sense. It's working with the major systems, and it's doing a balancing all the major reproductive, endocrine, like all the different systems, digestive. So I'm just sort of doing this whole kind of balancing. And then I have another one, which is on a daily basis, just strengthening and daily clearing and strengthening. A third one is like everybody needs abundance. So it's like taking you into the med bed. So if you can envision, even though there was a lot of talk about med bed a few years ago, then things have died, whatever, who knows. But why not, just like on a Reiki grid, we take people energetically into these med beds of support and heal us and for abundance. So take yourself into the med bed with my abundance audio. And then I'm offering to do that. I just mentioned here today to Laura, is that I provide a 20-minute energy scan, a chakra energy scan. So I'm intuiting what's going on. And it's not a healing session, be clear on that. But it's like, this is what I see. This is what I hear. Could be related to, maybe there's a major block about your business, because I have over 30 years business experience. So it could be something like that. But we'll just see what's going on in my major Facebook group. Is called Healing Healers Health and Business. But you can definitely go to my website, which is BrendaLainof.com. So Brenda Lainof with one F.com. When you sign up there, you automatically, then there's these 3 audios that are in the website. So go ahead, sign up for my newsletter. Get in touch with me. I'm going to give you the link to book your 20-minute energy scan. That alone has a value of $70. So there's a lot of value there. And everybody, it's all an energy exchange for time. So, anyways, there's lots there, as mentioned. And any questions, just let us know.
Okay, and are you going to pop that link in the chat box here? I know I put your main website in here, in the chat box, or if you need me to, I can put it in there.
I'm just looking for my Dropbox. Oh, link. I don't have it offhand, but you know what? People can just get in touch with me. Just literally email me. I'm pretty easy to get in, touch with unless I'm traveling. But, just go ahead and I'll just send you all the good stuff.
Okay, great. And a few more questions coming in the chat I just want to address.
Sure.
Thank you for the wonderful comments. Thank you, Destiny. She says, congratulations, Laura. Sherry said, great job, ladies. Thank you, Sherry. And Sherry says, can you send your Goddess Radio link? Would like to follow. Yes, Sherry, if you go to my website and there's a page under show, you'll see where you can sign up for my email community. And then I think from there you can actually sign up for the podcast if you want to do it through the podcast way. Absolutely. Um, do that. Destiny said, great show, Laura and Brenda. Thank you, Destiny. And Brenda has her email in here, how you can contact her at lainofbrenda49@gmail.com. Donnelly, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Great show. Donnelly says, thank you. You're welcome. So welcome everyone or thank you everyone who could join us today. Brenda and I live today. And so, in just wrapping everything up here, again, you can go to Brenda's website to find out more about Brenda and work with her. We're not offering like speaker packages right now on the Goddess Radio. That might be something I might be able to offer, in the future. We'll see where this takes us. Right now, I'm just really focused on helping to bring healing and light and love and compassion to more people. And that's my intention here, to support you, and with these complimentary healing sessions and bringing in other healers and this beautiful collaboration energy, because the more we can come in collaboration and community together in alignment, like Brenda was talking about, aligning our energies together for bringing in, the highest good for everyone. That's just where our hearts are as healers. We all want that same big picture. That's really focused now to help all of us to tap into the inner goddess, to help her to rise, and however that looks for you, is important for you, and to assist you and help you in doing that. So thank you everyone for joining us today. When the goddess speaks, everyone listens. I love that. And in closing today, I would like to close our show today with a prayer. I call this the gratitude prayer that I channeled many years ago, and I'll just invite you to, if you like, to put your hand on your heart or in prayer position or close your eyes. We'll go ahead and with our closing of the gratitude prayer. I am grateful for my life is a co-creator with my inner source. I acknowledge all is love and light. I accept this truth into my heart, which purifies my soul of all that is false. I accept the Holy Trinity of truth, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are love, light, and creation, and is the whole truth of life. I surrender to this moment and embrace all parts of myself with love, respect, and gratitude, for all of life is within me. So be it, and so it is. So many blessings to you, each of you, sending you all a big hug with lots of love. And thank you again for joining us today on our live radio show or listening to the replay. And if you would like to be a speaker on my show, you can just send me an email at goddessgroove@protonmail.com, or go to my website, fill out the contact form, and we'll have a chat, and would love to introduce you to the community if we're in alignment. So thank you again, everyone. Until next time, namaste, be well, and much love to you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye. Thank
you.
you so much, Laura. It was great to connect again.
You're
Thanks.
so welcome, Brenda. Thank you. Much love, everyone. Bye-bye for now. Namaste.